Hey guys, Eric here, Mr. Fired Up Wealth. Want to bring you a quick video today, a brand new ETF that you need to know about. Obviously, sports betting and gambling, online gambling has been a big thing. A lot of the stocks like DraftKings and Penn National Gaming, they've made huge runs, so they're a little bit frothy here perhaps. But if you're looking for a long-term play and you don't want to hold just one stock, I've got an ETF here that you might want to take a look at. And before we get into the ETF and what's in that, I just want to give you an idea of what the opportunity is for the sector, for the sports betting in general. So if you look at this, obviously sports betting is the activity of placing wagers on sporting events. If you're not familiar, as of 2018, sports betting represented about 18% of a $449 billion global gaming market. You can see on this graph here, there's this 2018 to 2022, and they're showing the growth rate, percentage year over year change. I honestly think that these numbers are low, that you could see higher growth than that. Here's some information on gaming. Gaming or online gambling is broadly defined as the wagering of money or some other value on the outcome of an event or a game. So you can actually bet on football games, basketball games, baseball games, whatever you're into, using the internet. That includes online sports betting as well as online casino games and poker. In 2018, online represented 11.3% of the total market, and this is expected to grow as improved regulation allows for more betting to take place via the internet. You can see nice growth there on the gaming capital. Is it legal? This is a really good chart here. This is a kind of a global map. Take a look at that. Hopefully I zoomed in, you can see. So currently it's legal in several European countries, Australia, Mexico, and the US. Legalization is enforced at the state level. And then in May in 2018, New Jersey successfully won a court ruling to legalize sports betting in the state, paving the way for additional states to receive approval. Several additional states since have received regulatory approval, while additional states continue to work towards legalization. So on a country level, Brazil and India represent two examples of countries that are moving towards potential regulation. So that you can see the green, that green color is regulated. So you can already gamble legally, but it is regulated by governments. And then the orange color is regulatory momentum, which means they're moving towards the possibility of getting it legalized with regulation. Why invest in online sports betting and iGaming? Global gaming industry is evolving from brick and mortar to online business. From 2015 to 2018, online revenues increased at a 15% annualized rate from $38 billion to $51 billion. And they expect online to earn an increased share of about $400 billion in the gaming market. As you can see, brick and mortar here, 10.1%, online mobile, 10.8%, and then 11.3% for that's percentage. U.S. online betting market, I thought this was interesting. Growth in the U.S. market is expected to increase as the regulatory environment evolves. We just said that earlier. They estimate that the U.S. online sports betting will reach $14 billion at maturity. $14 billion. However, the U.S. currently lags behind the United Kingdom and Australia in terms of per capita gambling spend. If we estimate the market based on per capita rates of those countries, the market would reach $22 billion or $23 billion. So here is another kind of graph to take a look at, and you can see implied U.S. market. This is New Jersey. That's about $18 billion. You've got UK about $22 billion, and then Australia they got $23 billion. We don't need to go in more of this. So what is the ETF is called BETZ, BETZ. It's by Roundhill Investments. It's a fairly new company. I did a little research on them. They seem interesting. They only have two funds. They have this, and they have one called NERD, and the NERD one is actually esports, video gaming. So here's BETZ. It literally just came out a couple of days ago. You can see the chart, the performance. It hasn't really been out very long. The ticker is BETZ. It has a market capitalization of $1.3 billion. This was what's cool about it. A lot of people in the Fired Up Wealth group have been asking for international. This gives you quite a bit of international exposure. There's 13 countries represented in this ETF. 1 month return is 26.32%. So it's gone up, and that's actually in a couple of days. So it's a little deceiving because literally it just started trading a couple of days ago. Here's the top 10 holdings. DraftKings is number one, then Flutter. So you can see that DraftKings is US, Flutter is in Ireland, BetMakers Technology Group is Australia, GAN or GAN is from the UK. You got Malta in here, you got Britain, you got Penn National Gaming from the US, you've got Kindred, which is Malta again, betathome.com, which is German, Score Media and Gaming, which is Canadian. Let's look at the full index here. Here's the full index. Let's go by weight. So if you click on this by weight, DraftKings is the first. We kind of went through this. So let's look towards the middle. So you have Churchill Downs, which was on the DGIF series as a bonus pick. I actually like that stock. It's in Boyd Gaming's on here. MGM's in here. Caesars is in here. There might be some other ones that you recommend that you notice. Eldorado Resorts, Scientific Games Corp, GVC Holdings. There's quite a few. Let's look at the Fidelity screen. So the expense ratio is 0.75%, which is a little bit higher, but it is international. So there's a lot of times there's going to be a higher expense ratio. And this is, so it's custom weighted, non-leveraged, passively managed equity ETF with a benchmark index of the Roundhill Sports Betting and Gaming Index. That just means they made up this index. It's not following, a well-known index like an S&P 500 or something like that. This is just an index they made up. It does pay a 1% yield, it's saying here, which I thought was interesting. Currently, as of June 5th, 2020, it has a little under $16 million in net assets, so there's not very much. Although it has had some volume. A lot of Robinhood traders have been playing this one in the last couple of days. You can see 1.3 million volume, which isn't a ton, but it's quite a bit for a brand new ETF like this that's that small. And it's all sports betting and iGaming companies. It tracks performance of common stock, including ADRs and global receipts, GDRs. So there's 31 holdings it's saying here on this one. It's so new it doesn't even have regional or country exposure, but we kind of went through on the other spot here. It's got Malta, Canada, there's Isle of Man, Denmark's in there, Greece, Sweden, there's Cyprus, there's quite a bit. I think we said 13 different countries represented. So take a look, guys. It's BETZ. It's an ETF. It's something that's kind of new. If you want to play this space and have some international exposure to it, maybe something to put a few percent of your portfolio in and just hold for 5-10 years, could be an excellent play. Take a look. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Click the bottom right corner. Hit the little bell for notifications. Also, check out our Facebook group. Just go on Facebook and type in Fired Up Wealth. Do a search. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.